This is Phil Tyrone with Evergreen Financial Counseling. And will all your debts be eliminated in bankruptcy? Common question we get. Here we are with Kyle Schumacher, one of our bankruptcy attorneys who files cases in Texas and Oregon. Kyle, will all debts be eliminated in bankruptcy?
Yes.
The short answer.
If it's the right kind of debt. But I know that people, when they do talk to attorneys, they like direct answers, and attorneys sometimes don't like to give such direct answers because it's tough. A lot of debt, most debt is actually dischargeable, right? It would get rid of it. There's actually a short list of things that doesn't get discharged that you can go through and see, is it applicable to you or not?
So give me an example. So dischargeable debt is easy. Credit cards, collections, payday loans, things like that, right? Medical debt. Those are dischargeable, no doubt. What are things that aren't dischargeable? Like on the other side, where you said if.
Right. So if you have tax debt or government debt, right, essentially taxes to the state or federal government, that's generally not going to be discharged, especially if it's the newer it is, right? If it's essentially within the last few years, you're not going to get rid of some of that debt by filing bankruptcy.
Okay. Now I've heard some people talk. So this is like past due taxes, right?
Yes.
Now there's sometimes through bankruptcy in nuanced cases where it does get maybe not discharged, but payment plans or something like that, right?
Yeah, you get.
What are those?
Well, you can do payment plans, but when it comes to tax debt, it gets dumped into two different buckets, right? Is it priority tax debt or is it non-priority tax debt?
Okay.
And the priority tax debt has to be paid, and that's normally the more recent debt. And the non-priority debt doesn't have to be paid, and that's normally the older taxes, as long as you essentially filed on time and the IRS received it and assessed it. Those are the general.
So in some cases you can actually get IRS tax debt eliminated through bankruptcy.
Completely eliminated. Yes.
Wow. Okay. So what's other things that do not get eliminated?
Child support and alimony, right? If there's a court order and your divorce decree requires those types of payments, those aren't going to go away. And if you're current on them, then you're doing great. You just keep making those payments. Sometimes you get behind, and that's actually where filing a bankruptcy can help you, because it can help you get caught up on those payments.
Okay, got it. Okay, what else that would not be used, would not be eliminated? What type of debt would not be eliminated?
Oh, another big one that a lot of people have is student loan debt.
Yeah.
That it is in the sense that if you have credit card debt, medical debt, there's not a special thing that you need to file within your bankruptcy to get it discharged. Student loan debt, if you want it discharged, you have to go through several hoops and you have to prove a hardship. It's actually pretty hard to prove. Over the last couple of years, they eased those restrictions, but they haven't gone much further, and now it's kind of they're reversing back.
Yeah, as of February 2025, it's paused, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it essentially got paused. And so it is one of those things where if you come in with an expectation going, I've heard this, right? It's probably not going to be coming to fruition anytime soon.
What about car loans that I owe $20,000 on a car that's worth $10,000?
Well, right. So again, that type of debt is still dischargeable, right? But what happens is you have to determine, is this a car that you want to keep? And so if it is a vehicle that you want to keep, you often have to pay for the assets. But the good thing about a bankruptcy is if your car is that much underwater, you might actually be able to file bankruptcy, keep that car, and only pay the loan to what the value of the vehicle is.
Wow, so that's great. So in other words, if it's $20,000 or $20,000 loan, and you have a $10,000 value, the loan, as they call it in bankruptcy, gets crammed down to whatever the value is.
That's right. And another great thing about it is, let's say you have a high interest rate on your car, 20, 25%, something to that effect. You can cram down the interest rate as well. You can get it down to 10%, 9%, which saves you a lot on that fee.
Is that government assigned interest rate, or is that based on prime, or how is that interest rate chosen?
There's a case, and it is prime plus 1, 2, or 3%.
Okay.
And so, so across the country, courts will use different metrics, but they always use prime, and then they add like 1, 2, or 3%.
That's great. I did not realize that. Great. Anything else, Kyle? Anything debt that's not going to be eliminated?
Well, this is how I normally say it because it rolls right off the tongue. But child support, alimony, court fines, court fees, restitution, taxes, and student loan debt. So that's how I normally say it.
Kyle Schumacher, Schumacher Lane, filing bankruptcies in Texas and Oregon, an Evergreen Financial Counseling attorney. Evergreen Financial Counseling, a nonprofit committed to helping debtors or people in debt get out of debt the right way. Contact us if you have any questions and watch our videos for future insight. Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you.